has there now been a murder related to the Bitconnect fiasco? Today we're going to talk all about that, so stay tuned. So as I mentioned, now there is the possibility that there is a murder that has been related to the Bitconnect case. I know Bitconnect is the cryptocurrency that never seems to go away. There's always something new popping up about it, even though the scam has been exposed and gone down way back at the beginning of the year when crypto first crashed. But now there's this breaking story about possibly someone who was murdered because of Bitconnect. So today we're going to be talking about John Bigatton. He was actually a regional promoter for Bitconnect. So if you don't know, Bitconnect was a pyramid scheme, and they had local promoters, and they had regional promoters like Trayvon James. Craig Grant, I believe, was actually a regional promoter for the US, and John Bigatton was a regional promoter for Australia. He was actually at that famous event, the one where they had Carlos Matos, and he was screaming Bitconnect and saying, "We are coming in waves. It's gonna be the greatest thing ever." John Bigatton was actually at that event as well. I'll show you a brief clip of that. So you can see John Bigatton was heavily involved in Bitconnect. He was a big-time promoter of it. He didn't run the company. Again, the people who run it, they were actually very smart, and they never released who they were, so it's very hard to try and track down these people. I know the FBI and a lot of governments are probably trying to track them down, but they were smart to hide their identity. So a lot of these middle-tier people like Craig Grant and John Bigatton are the people who are being blamed for this event because the people at the top, they can't be found. Now, John Bigatton, once Bitconnect went down, he started to receive a lot of hate mail. A lot of people said some very mean things to him. He actually received some death threats as well. And his wife, Madeline Bigatton, is the one that this story is really about. So Madeline Bigatton, once all this happened, she started to freak out, as anyone would, because no one wants to receive death threats or a bunch of hateful emails. And she started to really freak out about this. And, initially she started to defend her husband. I'll actually show you this message. She sent this message to a friend. The friend actually released this message to the police once she went missing. It says, "On a side, I'm absolutely shocked at people's behavior. I understand how people can get emotional when they lose money, but to blame and accuse other people for their own actions is unbelievable. Even more shocking of the lies being said, it really cuts me up, as John doesn't have a single bad bone in his body and would only be involved in something if he truly believed that it would have a positive impact in people's lives. I really do appreciate you reaching out to check in on us. I know that we will work through this and come out it stronger. Yes, we must stay united." Now, despite that positive message that she sent to a friend, things seem to have soured since then. So back in March, she actually disappeared from their shared home. She just disappeared up and gone one day. No one knew what happened to her. And initially, police believed it was just a missing persons case. They believed that she had just ran away and she didn't want to be involved with John or the financial problems that they were having. It came out that they didn't have as much money as they said they did, and the money that they did have was all going towards court fees because they are now being sued. Actually, John is being sued, she is not, so potentially that is why she just up and decided to leave, so she wouldn't have to deal with that anymore. Now, since then, things have changed, and the police now believe that possibly foul play was involved and possibly she was kidnapped and, she may be murdered at this point. I'll actually read briefly the police report they said. They said that the police found, the St. George police located her car, a black 2017 Kia Sorento at Cape Solando, a cliffside lookout 20 kilometers from their home. So she actually disappeared. They found her car not too long after she vanished from their local home, but they didn't find any evidence of her anywhere. And then eventually, weeks later, they found two young men who had no connection to her, who actually had the keys to her car. So now they believe possibly foul play was involved. This is a very interesting story to think that someone just up and disappeared, possibly was even murdered, all because of Bitconnect. I know there's a ton of people who just lost a lot of money, and I've posted videos on Bitconnect before, and there's so many heated comments that get posted on all of my videos about that. There's so many people who are truly upset about what happened with that scenario, with Bitconnect going down, being proven a scam. So it's really unfortunate. I do believe that people like Craig Grant, Trayvon James, this John Bigatton should have to face some sort of criminal, punishment for promoting this scam, being big promoters of this and actually getting tons of money from this scam. But obviously, death threats and, potentially his wife gone missing, potentially even being murdered, that's not something that should occur. So, don't, please, I'm encouraging people, I know Trayvon James still has his alternative channel that he's on, Craig Grant still posts. Please don't give these guys death threats. These people do need to be brought to justice, but, encouraging death threats against these people is not how you do that. So there you go. There is the story on John Bigatton and his wife Madeline Bigatton, who went missing and is now believed to possibly be possibly was kidnapped and maybe murdered. So I'd love to hear your thoughts below on this. What do you think happened? Do you think she just possibly ran away because she didn't want to deal with the ramifications of what happened with the whole Bitconnect scenario, or do you think possibly someone maybe did something to her to try and get back get back at John for losing all the money that they did in Bitconnect? I would love to hear your thoughts below. Go ahead and leave any comment you have on the Bitconnect story. And again, try and stay safe out there. And again, death threats are not okay, folks, okay? Please do not give anyone related to Bitconnect death threats, but they do need to be brought to justice. So hopefully the cases that we have in America will go forward and in Australia as well. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a fantastic day.